Imagine a creature that was already alive before the modern world even existed. A creature that may have been swimming the oceans when Shakespeare was still writing, when empires were rising and collapsing, when humans had barely begun to understand the planet they lived on. And somehow, it is still alive today. This is not science fiction. This is not a myth. This is the terrifying reality of deep-sea sharks, creatures capable of living hundreds of years. But the real question isn't how they live so long. The real question is, why nature made them live this long in the first place? And the answer lies in darkness, cold, and a world where time itself seems to slow down. At the surface of the ocean, life moves fast. There is sunlight. There is constant hunting. There is competition, danger, and chaos. Everything must grow quickly, or die quickly. But as you descend deeper into the ocean, 500 meters, 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters down, the rules of life begin to change. Light disappears, sound feels heavier, movement becomes slower, and time itself seems to stretch. This is the deep sea, a place so hostile that survival demands perfection. And it is here that deep-sea sharks rule quietly, patiently, almost immortal. One species stands above all others. The Greenland shark, a creature so ancient, so slow, that algae can sometimes grow on its eyes while it swims. Its environment is brutally cold, often just below freezing. And this extreme cold is the first key to its unbelievable lifespan. The Greenland shark's body operates in permanent slow motion. Its metabolism, the internal engine that controls growth, repair, and aging, is incredibly slow. While the human body constantly burns energy, damaging cells and racing against time, the shark exists in something closer to biological hibernation. Its cells divide slowly. Damage accumulates slowly. Aging itself crawls forward at a near-frozen pace. This shark does not rush through life. It survives by waiting. Unlike surface sharks that grow quickly and burn out faster, deep-sea sharks grow painfully slowly. A Greenland shark may take over 100 years just to reach maturity. But in return, it gains something extraordinary. Lowly time, time to heal, time to adapt, time to outlast almost everything else on Earth. For decades, scientists didn't believe these sharks could be that old. There were no bones to analyze, no growth rings to count. So researchers looked somewhere unexpected, the lens of the shark's eye. Using carbon dating, they discovered something shocking. Some Greenland sharks were over 250 years old. Others were estimated to be close to 400 years old. These sharks were alive before electricity, before cars, before modern nations even existed. They are not just animals. They are living history, but extreme longevity comes at a cost. Life in the deep sea is not peaceful. Food is scarce. Chasing prey wastes energy, and energy is too precious to waste. So deep sea sharks evolved a different strategy. They don't hunt aggressively, they don't chase, they drift. They wait. They wait. They feed on slow prey, injured animals, or even the remains of massive creatures like whales that sink into the darkness after death. In the deep sea, patience is not a virtue. It is survival. And here lies the truly terrifying truth. These sharks were not designed for danger. They were designed for endurance. The deep ocean is so deadly, so cold, so crushing, so unforgiving, that only creatures capable of extreme longevity could survive there. If you die young in the deep sea, you don't get a second chance. Nature solved this problem by creating animals that simply refuse to age. But now, a new threat has entered their world. Humans. Deep sea fishing reaches farther than ever before. Noise pollution travels through water endlessly. Plastic sinks into depths once untouched by civilization. Creatures that survived ice ages, mass extinctions, and hundreds of years of natural disasters may not survive a single century of human activity. And that is what makes this story so unsettling. These sharks are not monsters. They are masterpieces of evolution. Silent witnesses to centuries of change. They remind us that the ocean is not empty and not fragile. It is ancient. But even ancient systems can be broken when change comes too fast. So the next time you hear about a shark, Don't imagine teeth and terror. Imagine a creature older than your country, older than modern history. A being that doesn't race against time because time barely touches it at all. Deep-sea sharks don't live for hundreds of years because they are powerful. They live that long because the world they inhabit is too cruel for anything less. And that is the terrifying reason they still exist. But there is something even more unsettling about these sharks. They don't just survive time, they remember it. Not consciously, of course, but biologically. Every scar on their skin, every parasite attached to their bodies, every slow movement through the frozen dark is a record of centuries spent in an environment humans can barely tolerate for minutes. Some Greenland sharks still carry parasites that have been evolving alongside them for generations. Predator and parasite, locked together in a relationship older than most civilizations. And yet, despite their age, these sharks are not rulers of the deep. They are not dominant because they are fast. They are dominant because they endure. In the deep sea, speed is dangerous. Aggression is expensive. Mistakes are fatal. So evolution chose a different path. A path where survival means slowing down until the world itself can't keep up with you. Even their movement reflects this philosophy. A Greenland shark swims at an average speed slower than a human walking. Imagine that. A massive apex predator that doesn't need to chase anything because eventually everything else slows down too. In freezing temperatures, prey becomes sluggish. Wounded animals sink. Death itself drifts downward. And the shark is always there to meet it. This raises a disturbing idea. What if the deep sea doesn't reward intelligence, or strength, or even speed? What if it rewards only one thing, patience beyond human comprehension? Scientists studying deep-sea sharks have noticed something strange. Despite their age, they show remarkably low rates of cancer. Their cells repair themselves efficiently despite operating for centuries. This has triggered serious scientific interest. Because if we understand how these sharks slow aging, we might unlock secrets that could change human medicine forever. But here's the uncomfortable question. Should we?